What is your full name?
First of all, I appreciate you taking the time to interview me. My name is Maurice P. Carey, but you know me better as your dad, Carey Maurice Pless. But before all that, my name was Lance Corporal Carey Maurice Pless.
Name of your parents and your siblings.
My mother's name is Adrienne Denise Pless. Uh, my father is Donald Spencer Horton. I almost forgot my dad's middle name. I have blood relatives. I have one younger sister and one younger brother, and I got step brothers and sisters. Um, my sister, your aunt, is Bianca Horton, and my brother, your uncle, is Joshua Michael Pless Mosley.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, I know. I barely even hear my own brother, but he started out actually he was in the Air Force, and then now he's a staff sergeant in the Army, so he went military as well. He's over in Italy with his son and his wife. Yeah. You got an uncle. I'm the oldest of the three.
Oldest son of three.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like me.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Where were you born?
I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a Georgia Baptist baby. Got all my arms and legs. Yeah, I'm from the South, Southern.
Southern. Okay. Who was your best friend as a child?
My best friend as a child. Well, I'm gonna say when I was a child. I'm gonna have to jump all the way up to when I was a teenager. I don't remember when I was like a child, but when I was a teenager, it's this guy. His name is Damone Sims. It's spelled Damon, but it's actually Damone. We got into a lot of trouble in high school together. That was my road dog. So Damone Sims, the ladies man.
The ladies' man.
Yeah, he was a ladies man because he was tall. You know.
Okay, that.
Yeah, you know how the tall dudes be.
Okay, next question is, what is your favorite memory from your childhood?
I was just having this conversation with your sister, man. My favorite memory is actually my earliest memory in my childhood. My earliest memory is of the day I met your uncle. It was March 29th, 1985. Six. 1986. Right. March 29th, I was 4, almost 5 years old. And I walked to my mother's hospital room, and I remember her being looking. Did I say your mother or my mother?
You said yours.
Okay, my mom. Yeah, my mom's hospital. And I remember my mom looking so weak. She just looked so weak, and even at 4 years old, I understood that she had just squeezed a whole life out of her body. So I understood why she looked that way. But I got a chance to hold my little brother for the first time, and to this day, that is probably the most emotional moment, that I can remember at a young age.
Did you play sports in school, or were you involved in the club or a band?
A little bit of everything. So in high school, I was trying to figure out who I was. That is pretty much the time where most kids are trying to figure out who they are in life or who they want to be. And I was not popular. I was not the popular kid. I wasn't the jock. I wasn't like the I just wasn't. So I wanted to hang out with the different crowds and try to figure out. So for a little while, I played football. I got hit real hard one time, and I was good on football. Don't hit me. Don't hit my body. I'm good. Dude hit me. I literally slid across the field. And while in the midst of sliding, it was kind of like, okay, this is not for me. I'm sliding now. And I just knew right at that moment, I'm good.
Yeah.
I was in chorus. I used to sing. And I was in a club called the SWTBA. It was the students working toward, originally students working towards a Black awareness. Then they changed it to students working toward a better awareness. So I was also in those clubs, just trying to make friends and figure out who I wanted to be in life.
Yeah. Understood. Okay. Next question is, did you go to college and where? And if so, what was your major?
I went to a few colleges, some better than others. First, I think I went to ITT. No. When I was 19, I went to Atlanta Metropolitan College when I was 19. At the time, I was pursuing a music career, so I was singing and writing music. So ultimately, I ended up dropping out of college, trying to pursue a music career, which I thought I was just going to blow up. That didn't happen. Then I joined the Marines, and then after going to war, I realized I would prefer to be in school. So I came back, and I started going to ITT Tech, which was a horrible idea. Whack, you know. It was trash. So then after that, I started going to Georgia State University, and I was married. I originally was trying to get my. I wanted to be a lawyer. I really wanted to be. I love arguing, but not arguing in a bad way. Arguing facts. I love it. I still love it. And then I moved on to majoring in theater and psychology, and then theater. So a lot of my majors were thinking majors. I love to think. And then I dropped out again. So I got my associate's degree. I did not get my bachelor's. I know your mom has like 942 degrees.
Actually, 2, but that's the point.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So long story short, I did go to college. I didn't go all the way, but I put some time in.
Yeah. I'll probably go to college. Next question is, were you drafted or did you volunteer for military service?
I absolutely volunteered. I joined the Marine Corps. So I signed up for the Marine Corps, I believe July of 2001. Note the date on that, July 2001. But I was in the DEP program. The DEP stands for Delayed Entry Program. And I didn't end up leaving until October 15th, 2001. In between that time, do you know what happened?
September 11th, 2011.
I was waiting to go, and then boom, September 11th happened. So
tragic.
Mm-hmm. I was scared because I had already signed the contract. I had already told them I was going to go, and then 9/11 happened. I thought I was going straight to war.
Yeah.
I did not go to war. I went later.
You. Now, next question is, or hold on. If you volunteer, what is your motivation for joining the military?
I was making poor decisions, and I knew that I was better than the decisions I was making, and I knew that if I continued down the path that I was on, I was going to destroy my life in the long term. This was before you were born. This was before your sister was born. This was before I was even thinking about kids and marriage and all those type of things. I was trying so hard to be in those streets and be, with the thugs. And I was trying so hard to be that way. And it wasn't working out for me because deep down, I knew that stuff was wrong. That was not the right thing to do. And I needed something to push me to be better. And I wanted to be the best. And anybody that knows, the Marine Corps is the toughest and the hardest. And that's me. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
So basically, for like to change your like bad ways?
Yeah. Not to necessarily change my bad ways. No, son. Yeah, to change my bad ways.
Okay.
To put me on a better path. Which I will tell you right now was probably the best decision I ever made in my life.
Next question. Did you leave a sweetheart behind? It's like a significant other.
I most certainly did. Actually, at the time, I didn't know I did. I met a young lady while I was learning my job, and we hit it off. And I was only there for 3 months. We dated, we hung out, got close, and then I flew off to Japan. And I was going to be in Japan for a year, so I thought it was over. I get on the phone with her while I'm in Japan, like a week or two in, and I was, I was like, "Hey, how's everything going?" Blah blah. And she goes, "We still together, right?" Nah, I thought it was over. I'm in Japan now. You my boyfriend now.
Oh.
Boyfriend. So I was over there for a year, and we ended up getting married. I actually have a picture of her too. I just found it 2 days ago.
2 days ago. No, it's recent.
So me and her together. I was 22, man. I was young.
In which branch of the military did you serve? Marine Corps.
US Marine, the best one, the toughest, the hardest one, the real. I'm just playing. Don't. The Marine.
One. The and where did you receive your basic training?
Parris Island, South Carolina.
Number 15. What was your specialty or area of expertise?
Military occupational specialty. I was a metal worker. I was a 1316 metal worker, armor plate welder. So basically, I built things out of metal, and I repaired armor plate. If something was blown if a hole was blown in the side of something that needed to be repaired, I was the guy who fixed it. If you needed a grill, barbecue grills built, I was the guy who built them. Yeah, the most intricate thing that I ever built while in the Marine Corps was not M16. I'm sorry, machine gun turrets, up-mounted machine gun turrets that you mounted on the back of Humvees. You see in the movies where the guy standing back there.
Yeah,
built that whole thing.
The whole thing by yourself?
By myself. I was the only welder. That was my job. I was the only welder while I was in Iraq in 103 degree weather in the middle of the desert. I play with fire. It was hot.
Were you assigned and how long did you stay there? I mean, where were you assigned and how long did you stay there?
Where was I? I was assigned at multiple stations. My first station, so I started out at Parris Island, South Carolina. Then I went to my MCT, that's military combat training. Gosh, I forgot. I think that was North Carolina. I don't remember. Then I went to Maryland. That's Aberdeen Proving Ground. That's for my MOS, my military occupational specialty as a welder. Then from there, I went to Japan with CSSD 36, Iwakuni, Japan, Air Wing Station. Then I went to 1st Mardiv, 1st CEB, Engineer Battalion, and I built stuff.
You built stuff. And how long were you assigned?
Each one was about a year. I'm sorry. The last one was 2 years because I did. I'm sorry. Yeah, the last one was 2 years. So I was in California for 2 years, and then the other was I was in Japan for 1 year. And then the rest was like training and stuff like that.
Okay. So 3 years in total, pretty much.
Well, I did a total of 4 years. Yeah. Total.
Okay. Next question. While in the military, did you ever receive letters or packages from home?
I was at war, so I did get letters I got letters in boot camp. I got letters at my duty station. I got letters while I was at war. So I got letters and packages and gifts and care packages were really important while out there. This was a time before smartphones, like really smartphones and the way things are connected now. So that's how you stay connected was the mail. That's how, and it was so slow and it was tedious because you had to wait to hear from your people. Whereas like right now, you see how we're connected? This did not exist when I was in. So people got it good now.
Understand that. Alrighty. The next one is, what did you miss most from home while you were gone?
uh, well, at the time, I missed my wife.
Um, okay. Next question is, were you in combat? Did you see action in a specific battle?
I fought in Operation Iraqi Freedom 2. I was stationed while in Iraq. I was stationed at multiple stations. I was in Haditha, Baghdadi, um, Al Assad, RCT 7. I can't remember the exact, but yes, yeah, mortared regularly, basically bombed, shot at less than I was bombed. I was bombed more than I was shot at, so that's actually bad. But the worst for me was convoys. Do you know what a convoy is, son?
No.
Okay. Basically, when you see those line of trucks, truck, and we're all driving down the road trying to get from one place to another, multiple trucks, it's a convoy. And the worst thing about that is back then, even now, I don't know, but they would hide bombs any and everywhere along the road. They would hide them in the road, under the pavement, on the side of the roads, just and at any point they would just set them off, and you would never know. So that was the worst part. Is this was the anticipation of knowing that somebody can blow you up at any moment, and you never know. And I moved around a lot because I was the only welder, and I had to always go and fix stuff for other people. So I was on the road a lot, and that drove me quote unquote crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is, if you were stationed overseas, what are a few things you found different, strange, wonderful, or unique about the area you were in?
Um, let's talk about Japan. I loved Japan. If I knew then what I know now about Japan, I would have stayed in Japan. The people, the food was good. The people were kind. They were so kind. They were nice people, and young Marines and Americans were taking advantage of them because they were so nice. And, I'm bigger than you and I'm tougher than you and I do it. And so one thing I did learn about myself is I hate bullies.
Who doesn't? I said, who doesn't? Everyone hates.
And I will fight for somebody. If somebody's bullying them, I will fight. I don't care if the guy's bigger than me. But what I loved about Japan was, first of all, the technology. Back then, I got all the good electronics from Japan, man. It was great. I got a couple of katana swords in the house. I think I showed you. I got a couple of swords in the house from Japan. You know, Japan was just dope. I love Japan, and then so it wasn't weird. I mean, I got to see the different sites. Make sure you have the pictures. I got to see the different sites. I love Japan. It was serene and calm in the right places. And then when you went to the other places like Uh, oh my gosh. So I also visited Hiroshima. Does that name sound familiar to you, Hiroshima?
Yeah. Wasn't it bombed in 1945?
They bombed it with the atomic bomb. I got
Yeah.
a chance to visit that. And some of the horrible,
Hmm.
it was like there are people who got melted into glass, and they're like in glass, and it's whew, gosh. So, but I do recommend going to Japan. Japan is amazing. Like the outskirts where you see like the bonsai trees and the rivers, and you see hear all the music, and man, Japan is amazing. Love Japan. The food, yeah, yeah, it's good.
Okay. Next question is describe a typical day for you while in the military.
6 a.m. Well, we'll say up at 5, but I would probably lag around until about 5:15, 5:20. Then by 5:45, I'm out of formation, getting ready for PT. PT is physical training, which typically was pull-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, and a long run, at least anywhere from 3 to 6 miles. Yeah, at least three. Three is like bare minimum. I did learn to love those runs because I was good at it. I was good at energizing and motivating people to run. I hate running now, but back then, people used to love to hear me call cadence. Basically, what cadence is when you hear left, 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 right, leo, and they singing and people are running to the beat. I was good at that.
Okay, and I think that is. Oh no, we have one more.
Okay, cool.
Um, what are the years or dates for your service?
I served in the United States Marine Corps from October 15th, 2001 to October 14th, 2005.
Okay. Oh, okay, this is the very last one. Um, what did you do after the military? Slash, what was your career?
Okay. So after I left the Marine Corps in 2005, I was pursuing a rap career. I was a rapper. Your dad was a rapper. I thought I was going to blow up, but also at the same time, I was homeless. I know people hear a lot of times about homeless vets. At the time, I was living in my friend's car. My friend was in Iraq fighting, and he let me borrow his car. He didn't know I was living in it for about a year before he came back. So during that time, I was working odd jobs and just trying to make money so I could have somewhere to live. I mean, like dollar store, and I was just trying to find out all kind of work. Um, Later in 2007, I started working at Lens Crafters. I was making glasses, and actually that was when I met your mom. It was in 2007. Um, huh?
I was just whispering. 2007.
I met your mom in 2007 in the mall. She was walking through the mall. So, um, so after that, I left Lens Crafters. I went across seas and I started working as a contractor again. I was working, to protect the military, and I was, yeah, protecting. I was no longer in the military, but I went and that's why I lived in Kuwait for about 6 years, and I was working there for about, off and on about 6 years in Kuwait. And then when I came back from that, I got into film. television, and acting. And that's what I do now. I be on TV.
Yeah.
Now, actor, stunt person, and teacher, coach.
Sounds like a pretty solid job. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's kind of fun. It's kind of dope. You see me on TV every now and then, a couple movies here and there.
And that was the end of the questions. So, yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you choosing me to interview. I really, and like I said, thank you. And I hope to do it again, man. Anytime you want to interview me, talk about anything, career day, I'm available. We can talk about that, whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
So you be cool, be safe. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.